And a lot of y'all gonna end up single and alone at the end of your life too. I know y'all out here saying that it's hard for women to get married. It's hard for some of y'all to get married too. Because the women that God has for you, you overlooking them. You keep shooting your shot at women that don't even want you because you ain't got everything you supposed to have together. I'm gonna say it because y'all don't really understand. Y'all try to say women gonna end up lonely. A lot of you men are gonna die single and alone because you will not let God work on your heart. You won't level up. The type of women you want, you don't even have the emotional intelligence to deal with them, the relational intelligence. You don't have the integrity. You don't have the leadership, and you shooting for that woman. But y'all won't talk about the ones that you shot for and they let you down and they told you no thank you. Y'all not ready to talk about the women that told you no thank you because you wasn't on her level. It's a woman that you shot for, sir. And when she denied you and shot you down, now you mad at all the other women and trying to dog them and give them self-esteem issues. Oh, I see y'all out there on the internet streets dogging women. This why y'all don't never get married. Y'all gonna be single forever. Sir, so are you. Sir, so are you. With that stubborn, prideful mentality, thinking that you are better than every woman out here and that you are the prize. Sir, you gonna be alone and single too in your elderly years. So stop going after women talking about all y'all single women. Some of you men are single because you can't get the woman you want neither.
She came in hot, didn't she? She said we're gonna die alone, God.
Yeah, come in hot, man. That's why I'm gonna pose this question to the panel. Are most single men just bitter from rejection they never healed from? Anybody can go first.
Let me say this. I can't deny that there's some dudes out here that probably feel like that way. You know, that there's been oh no, and they wasn't able to handle the rejection. Now, I think you probably gonna see a lot of more of those type of young men in this era, you know what I'm saying? Probably kids that was born in 2000, 2005, or the 2010 era, and them trying to be rejected. They just didn't know how to handle rejection because they always got what they want. They always was spoiled and being well taken care of. You know, they everybody get a trophy era. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if these young men were feeling some type of way about a woman just because they told them no. Because we see some of the results, how they respond. They be ready to fight the woman, ready to cut the woman, you know, ready to end the woman because a woman tells you no. I don't believe in that. But, you know, we come from a different era where we handle rejection and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't a problem for us. But these young cats now, I think they are moving like that, JR. I'll leave it there.
Okay. Go ahead, Trev.
So, she made a couple valid points about at least, well, some of the men who were angry, right? But I think it's such a low percentage that it's not even worth mentioning, right? Men, at least we have more of a pragmatic approach to things. We understand that, okay, well, some of us will never get the woman that we want, right? And a lot of females will say that, but then they always saying they're the ones that are settling, as if we don't make any concessions ever. We, as men, generally don't get what it is that we want out of women. We have to say, all right, well, we're compromising ourselves just to deal with most of the women who we have access to. While there are very few select men who can obtain the women they want, most men just can't. So yeah, it is what it is. But I don't think there's enough angry men out here that are violating and all of that. Like, I know we sometimes refer to the incel culture, which there are some. And if you're on the internet, then you could get the idea, especially in these particular spaces, that there may be more represented than there actually are in real life. But most men just understand, they know what type of women that they can get. Females have to understand that there is a stark difference between our reality and theirs, right? We don't age like milk. Like, we have a longer time span to where we can obtain women. our attractiveness just lasts a little bit longer, and it's not set by us, it's set by the women who respond to men. So yeah, men typically do have a much longer time span to be able to get a woman than they will have to get a man. So, and a lot of the people who say you're going to die alone, those aren't generally like those are the guys that are kind of doing their thing. I wouldn't usually say that's the people who not getting there. A lot of them stay quiet. They don't really, they don't really have much to say outside of these internet spaces. For the most part, dudes are not running around in the street, talking about women. Oh, you're going to die alone. They don't do that. That's not like real life. That's like what you see on the internet. And that's about it. Most of these dudes who don't have access to women, they're going to stay in their closet, get their little videos and do what it is that they do. I'll let somebody go.
All right, Willie. Is it fair to call yourself the prize if no woman wants you?
Do we skip the other question?
I mean, you can answer the other question. I mean, I was just trying to keep it,
No, I don't have to answer that one. That's easy. Is it fair to call yourself the prize if no woman wants you? I don't think that men call themselves the prize anyway. But if you're not desired by women, you're useless at that point. As far as the dating market is concerned, it's like the majority of men, women don't even see. So none of those men can call themselves a prize because they're not getting picked. They're not being sought after. They're not being competed for. If you go to a carnival, you compete for prizes. So none of these men would be the guys that are on the shelf or the prizes on the shelf that everybody's competing for. None of these men, the majority of men aren't the big teddy bear that is going out there and someone's trying to go win it for you, or a woman's out there like wanting somebody to get it for. So I guess the answer would have to be no, because if a woman doesn't want you, what are you a prize for?
What about you, Marcus? What do you think about that? Is it fair to call yourself the prize if no woman wants you?
No, yeah, you can't call it. I think it's a small amount of men that's angry. I'm gonna answer both questions together. I think it's a small amount of men that are actually angry and they're vocal about that. To Trev and everybody else's point, most men aren't complaining. If it's not going their way, they'll just retreat or go to figure out a way to find a hobby and just move forward. The majority of them are not on the street yelling women ain't shit and all this other stuff. But if don't nobody want you, you're not the prize. It's a fact of life. Prize is something people aspire to and they're trying to get. And if nobody wants to get you, then how can you say you're a prize? It don't hold no sound logical reason. But I think that lady was deflecting. I think she had a lot of energy in her clapback. And it seemed as though maybe somebody said something similar to her. And she wanted to redirect that energy and let them know, well, you're not going to get anybody either. And if it was coming from her being delusional or somebody saying that to her, I will understand why they might have in conversation had it. But if it was just her saying that just in general to men who had said nothing to her that are single, it don't make sense. It don't make no sense.
She was talking about the types of the men that women raise anyway, because those are the only men that are out here trying to fight women for being rejected, that don't take no for an answer, that are emotionally unregulated and just respond violently or physically when they don't get their way in life in general. So of that, she's probably a subject matter expert at what she's talking about. So a hit dog always hollers. And when you're saying that most men, I mean, it's just simply not true. And even if it was, the problem with the logic or the point that she's making is that men do fine by ourselves. We do fine. We don't need help. We don't, as far as relationships go, we can get our boys to help us lift stuff. We can get our boys to help us survive and continue whatever infrastructure it is that we have in place for ourselves. Women come and add to that. The things that women add to most men are things that they don't need, but things they want. They're not necessary to survive. They're not necessary to thrive, but they do make it easier to do both. So when women like that talk about these types of things, it's really just more of an indictment of their personal experiences with the opposite sex than anything else.
I seen somebody say she's actually married and she a relationship counselor. Yeah, I never seen a lady before. I was speaking to the energy. That's why I said the word if. If she has that type of energy, I would like to know what spawned it. Could have been a
see what Jeff You see what
You said what?
What Jeff James said too. A lot of these female therapists are undercover misandrists, and we can't forget that a woman getting married is not hard. Is she married to somebody that other men respect? Is she married to a man that she genuinely admires and respects? So, because again, most guys or most women will settle for the guy who applies the most pressure. That's what applying pressure is for, trying to convince a woman to settle for you. So, her being married and being a therapist, that doesn't say anything to refute or support any assertions that she made or that were made against her.
I said it on a couple of shows a while back. I think about it. Most men don't mind being by themselves, and and men are simple motherfuckers. We'll chill, eat a fucking TV dinner. Sit back and watch a game on a goddamn a lawn chair in the middle of your living room with a 65-inch television and be good in hell. We fine. We'll have our paper plates, plastic forks with a couple McDonald cups, and we'll call it a goddamn day, and we'll be happy. You know what I'm saying? We'll log into X video and get ourselves off. That's what we need to do every once in a while. We'll do that and keep it moving. Well, every once in a while we'll pursue some female companionship, but if things don't work, it ain't gonna hurt our feelings. We'll keep it moving, and we'll be fine. We'll enjoy our peace to ourselves. I mean, this how some men are. This how some men operate. They just don't care. I mean, it's not that. Look, you had one pussy, you had them all. Ain't that much difference between them. So what? He was getting some ass 20 years ago. He could go back and have flashbacks and reminisce. Ain't gonna be much different. I promise you. Still gonna be the same. The feeling still gonna be the same, and you still gonna get that goddamn same one off. But we'll do that if that's what we got to. And sometimes we'll just do it just so we can be at peace. See, we don't want all that chaos. We don't want all that nagging and that extracurricular activity we got to deal with in order to be with somebody. No. I love my peace. I love myself. So I'm going to sit in this cold, lonely motherfucking house by my goddamn self, but I'm going to be at peace. Now, women, they can't operate like that. They need that companionship that moves them. That's a must for them. For us men, man, we can go hang out with our fellas, man, kick it, smoke a stogie, call it a night, man, go chill at that, like I said, at that lawn chair in the middle of the living room and watch TV. We good.
Hank, do you think it's a difference between us actually deciding to opt out versus a man who doesn't have the access?
So the question is it up to us if we decide to opt out compared to the man who has access?
Do you think there's a difference? Like, I think it hits different for men that don't have access to women. Like, if you just can't get a joint, then I think it hurts, right? I don't know if any of y'all have ever been there where you actually had trouble to getting females before you got it right. I know most of us are like, okay, we were max coming out of the womb. Not me, but in general. So I kind of know what it feels like from back in the day. If you had trouble at one point before you got it together, there's some people who never get it together. And I think that it hits different versus a dude who's opting out because he's at peace, right? But there's some dudes, not a lot, like we were talking a little earlier, not a lot, but do you think it hits different when you just don't have access to it and you really want you want that experience, you yearn for it, but you just can't seem to get women?
So if a man has never had, you can't miss what you never had, right? You can't.
Shit.
So if they never really got it, they not gonna miss it. Now, for the man who has had it, they understand. Yeah, they still miss it. Please believe me, the men miss it, but he at the same time he realized all the drama and the issues he may have to go through in order to get it, and now he's going to have to ask himself, is it worth it? You know what I'm saying? Is it worth dealing with the bullshit, trying to entertain?
No, so I think that part because he's opting out. He don't want to deal with all the hoopla and the relationships and all that. So he might just, either go ahead and get a nice little video or, go to the store and buy one of, them things and send them back. So I dig that type of cat. But what about the dude who just like really awkward or, just overweight or just undesirable wants a relationship. Because there's some dudes who really want relationships. I can't say there's a bunch of us, but that can't get it. But there are some. If we were going to address those guys, do you think that she could be talking to this specific man and probably exaggerating about the number? But let's just, I guess, entertain the idea that there are some of those. Do you think that there are some men who legit would have these type of issues?
Yeah, for sure. So, you know, he's going to have one of them come to Jesus moment, look in the mirror and say, hey, either I'm going to have to make a change and do something different in order to get certain of the women that I want, or just accept whatever I can get and just be happy. A lot of guys going to have to do that. You know what I'm saying? They have to have it come to Jesus meeting with themselves. Say, hey, man, I know I'm a little big. I know I got, you know, some acne problem. I need to maybe, you know, go do something, go to a specialist to, you know, to probably get my acne issue together. I could probably stand a little, to lose a little weight. Maybe I need to start eating better, changing my diet up, you know, maybe working out, lose some weight. Financially, I know I'm not quite there. So what am I going to do? Maybe I need to go out here and get some certifications. Maybe I need to go get a different degree so I could start operating in a different field of what I'm doing, some type of training or whatever I got to do what I got to do to make these changes and adjustments. Some men won't have to do that. Now, if they still not willing to do all that, then fellas, I can't fight the woman. You better get ready to be alone because, you know, if a woman ain't going to choose you, she ain't going to choose you. You know what I mean? Unless you want to be okay to be fucking with these lot lizards. Now, if you're okay with that, on down to the strip and get you some. They there. I mean, shit, motherfuckers are there. Go hire you one for the night.
Yeah, and the only reason I was saying that is because, I mean, I've helped people who really, really need help. Darwin had an episode on his joint where he was trying to help a guy, and this guy was so bad off, man. Like, he was out of shape. He wasn't well groomed. He wasn't making no bread. He had no charisma, and the women were absolutely pulverizing this guy, like just wrecking him because they knew he didn't. Because what you got to understand is that females have no sympathy for men they don't like. Right. So if they see one thing that they could use you for or whatever, they really don't care. They can tap into their sociopath real fast. Right. And I'm like, damn. And he probably, and he knew he was at least self-aware enough to be like, yo, he's like, I need help. Like, I'm not doing well. So at least he understood, but he had no idea of the path to get there.
I know this random, but have y'all ever seen the show Love Island?
Hell
No,
no,
I haven't
I'm
seen
not
it.
watching.
Hearing
I
about
ain't never watched Love Island.
You said Love
I keep
Island?
hearing about it.
Love
I keep
Island.
hearing about it.
Hell
The
no.
one on it's on the NBC
Peacock.
joint, right? Yeah.
Peacock, yeah. It was a lot of stuff that I could relate to this conversation, but if y'all ain't seen it, then we ain't gonna be able to discuss it. So never mind. That's why I say it's random.
No, I keep hearing people talk about it, but I'm the guy. I don't watch shit like that. It's just I can't.
Nigga, I watched it.
That's what I'm
This shit
saying.
was
Like
good.
I can't because then you know how you see how I get. Well, how I get. It's just. And then I'm thinking I'm like, man, these bitches are stupid. I just don't want to. I just keep my energy reserved for shit like that because it's just kind of weird to me.
So really what I wanted to use it for is I think that like reality TV, there be people that provide psychological profiles that you could pull from some of the issues that people may be having. Like you might have an overly confident man and you can see the struggle that he having or what struggles are because he's overconfident. Right. Then you might have somebody that's the perfect nice guy, but never get the woman. You see the struggles that he's going through behind not getting the woman. So I look at it more like a psychological data set to be able to understand how people move through this world. But if y'all ain't seen it, it ain't gonna be that in depth to understand what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I got you. There's other joints though. I mean, I think a lot of those shows are like that. Since they started with like that whole, you know, Flavor of Love thing and all of that, I think we kind of saw like dudes. I know y'all probably watched that. Y'all ain't never. Yeah. You'll see situations like that. Some of them shows where you'll see people who are just out of touch, not understanding what's really going on out here.
I think Flavor of Love was a hypergamy, like like that was hypergamy on steroids, right?
for men.
Right.
Why you say for men?
Because it was a man that was the guy doing the choosing.
Yeah, but it was women fighting after him. So
Yeah,
they
that's just competition. That's not hypergamy. They want to get their best option. I don't think any of them girls thought that he was their best option overall. He was just the prize for the show, and they were.
But it made them operate like he was the best option based off of him being the prize in that use case. And you got to see some of the inner workings of how far people are willing to go in order to get what they, you know what I'm saying? That's just crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I give you that because that shit was wild. That was a great time to be alive.
Yeah.